The Ford government's move to allow convenience stores to sell alcohol sooner than planned will cost the provincial treasury far more than the premier initially admitted. The government is giving big breweries and supermarket chains discount, rebates, and payments that industry sources say add up to hundreds of millions of dollars. Senior Queen's Park reporter Mike Crawley joins us now with more details. And Mike, what have you found out about how much this will actually cost the province?
Yeah, so Dwight, on Friday, when the Premier made this announcement, he only talked about the $225 million payment that is going to the multinational owners of the beer store. We kept asking about what other costs they're going to be, and couldn't get clear answers from the government. And so late yesterday, I obtained a confidential document, a confidential LCBO document. So take a look at this. It's the LCBO's own estimates of how much it expects it's going to lose as a result of the deal, because you're going to have thousands of more outlets competing against it, and they're going to be allowed to sell at prices that are lower than the LCBO. So I've pulled together a bullet point summary of the math here, so let's take a look at that now. And this is how the official figures add up. So if you take all of that from the LCBO, it's projecting anywhere from roughly $100 million a year to $150 million a year net loss out of these lower retail sales. The government also tells me that they expect to see a cost of $45 million a year in rebates that the LCBO is going to pay to brewers of a particular fee that the LCBO charges on beer. So you add that up, that's up to $200 million a year on top of the $225 million payout to the beer store. And an industry source tells me that the province is actually lowballing that LCBO payment to the brewers. That source says it's a lot higher. And if you add that source's estimates to the projections that the government officially gave, or the LCBO officially gave, you could see the Treasury losing out on up to $450 million a year. Dwight?
That's a big number. Now, Mike, Ontario Liberal leader Bonnie Crombie has also come out with her own figures to the cost to the Treasury. So what is she telling you?
Well, an even bigger number, Dwight, far higher than what the government's talking out. The Liberals' math adds up to $1 billion. Here's Bonnie Crombie.
It's a $1 billion booze boondoggle. Doug Ford has shown time and time again that he's in office to cater to his wealthy, well-connected insider friends at the expense of the people of Ontario. The major grocery chains, who are already making record profits, and big box American stores like Walmart, are going to make a killing. And he's using $1 billion of your money, of taxpayer dollars, to do it.
All right, so how do the Liberals get to that nice round $1 billion figure? Let's take a look at their math. So you've got the $225 million payment to the beer store, that rebate of LCBO fees to the brewers, the Liberals are putting at $375 million. The discount off of the LCBO's retail price that is being passed on to grocers and the convenience stores, that's $74 million a year. And then the Liberals are throwing in a number by saying that the government is not doing what it could, which is to auction off the licenses to sell beer, wine, and cider in the convenience stores. They're putting that figure at $300 million. The government says we were never going to add that kind of a burden on these new outlets, so they're saying that's basically a fake number. But even, Dwight, if you accept the government's own estimates, we're still talking about a pretty substantial amount of lost revenue to the Treasury every year.
Before I let you go, Mike, can we quickly get the Premier's response to this?
Yeah, so he was challenged on this in question period by the NDP leader, Marit Stiles. Here's part of his response.
We're here to support the workers at the beer store. We're creating 8,500 new stores, thousands and thousands of jobs. The LCBO is going to be the wholesaler. They're going to bring in $200 million more. But guess what, Mr. Speaker? They want to say no. They want to say no on the beer tax increase. They want to say no to more competitive retailing pricing.
And keep in mind, if the government had actually waited until the end of next year to roll out the beer in the convenience stores, it would not have had to pay the beer store a single penny.
Thank you, Mike.